The day this story begins was quiet, almost peaceful, as if the world itself didn't yet know what was about to happen. Morning light slid across the wooden floor of my small living room, touching photographs of happier times, wedding pictures, childhood memories, the image of my wife smiling with her hand resting gently on her belly. She was 7 months pregnant then. The child we dreamed of for years was almost here. Everything felt fragile, but beautiful. I believed I was surrounded by people who cared about us, friends I'd known for a decade. We shared dinners, holidays, secrets. I didn't know that beneath their smiles was something darker, something I was blind to. That evening I was late coming home from work. I remember buying flowers on the way back, thinking she would like the white lilies she always mentioned. I unlocked the door expecting to see her reading on the sofa. Instead, I stepped into chaos. Chairs were overturned, glass shattered across the floor, walls smeared with dirt and footprints. My heart froze in my chest like someone had wrapped a hand around it and squeezed. Then I heard her cry from the bedroom, weak, stumbling, barely breathing. 5 figures were inside, 5 men I had once called brothers. They didn't know I was standing there yet. I listened, paralyzed, as they spoke as if destroying my life was something casual, something they felt entitled to. I walked forward slowly, afraid of what I would see, and when I opened the bedroom door, there she was. Bruised, shaking, tears slipping down her face, her shirt torn, her hands covering her stomach like she was shielding our unborn child from the world. My vision narrowed, a sound roared inside me like thunder. Every instinct in my body screamed to fight, to tear them apart, to take revenge right then. I felt rage like fire in my blood, but I didn't move. I stood very still, watching them run when they realized I was there. Cowards, they escaped through the back door as I rushed to my wife, lifting her into my arms. She whispered my name like it was her last breath. I carried her to the car so fast the door nearly tore off. Every second felt stolen, every red light a threat. At the hospital, doctors took her away and left me alone in white fluorescent silence. Time collapsed into a blur. Minutes, hours, I didn't know which. A doctor approached with tired eyes, and I felt the world hold itself like a held breath. He said she would survive, and the baby too. But she had been frightened, hurt, shaken to her core. She needed rest, safety, peace. I nodded, but peace was the last thing inside me. I felt like a storm made of bones and broken promises. People expected vengeance. My neighbors whispered. My coworkers asked if I'd hunt them down. Police took statements, but the 5 men hid like rats, moving from place to place. I could have found them. I knew where they drank, where they slept, where they hid their weaknesses. But standing beside my wife, watching her sleep in a hospital bed, I realized something. If I chose violence, I would lose myself. I would become exactly what they were, and my child would be born into a world where their father was lost to fury. So I chose something unexpected, something no one believed I would do. I forgave them, not because they deserved it. They didn't. They had taken trust and crushed it under their boots. Forgiveness wasn't for them, it was for me. I told the police I would not pursue charges. I told everyone who demanded my revenge that I would not be ruled by hatred. The world reacted like I had set fire to logic. People said I was weak, a fool. Even some family turned away from me. But forgiveness is not weakness. Sometimes it takes more strength to walk away than to strike back. And I walked. 1 day passed, then 2, then weeks. My wife healed slowly, physically first, then emotionally. She cried often, sometimes from pain, sometimes from relief. I told her every night that she was safe, that I was here, that no darkness could steal the love we built. But inside me, something still trembled, like a wild animal pacing in a cage. Forgiveness does not erase memory. It does not erase pain. It simply means you will not carry poison inside your heart. Months later, Life settled like dust after a storm. The baby was born, a girl with eyes dark as her mother's. Holding her, I felt something new, purpose without anger, justice without violence. Time passed, and those 5 men, one by one, destroyed themselves with their own choices. Prison, addiction, poverty, guilt. Life has its own balance. I never raised a hand. I never chased them. They were chased by their own conscience. Or maybe by karma, maybe by truth. In the middle of this story, if you are still listening, I want to say something that matters. Subscribe to this channel so more people can hear stories like this, stories of strength, not destruction, of choosing a different path when everyone expects blood and fire. Your support helps these stories continue. As my daughter grew, she would ask one day, "Daddy, why do you forgive people who hurt you?" And I will tell her this, because hatred is a burden heavier than any wound. Because violence repeats itself, generation after generation, unless someone chooses to stop it. I want her to learn not just how to survive, but how to be better than the world expects. I want her to carry light, not darkness. Years later, I met one of the 5 men by accident on a rainy street. His hair was tangled, eyes sunken, clothes wrinkled like he had slept outside for months. He froze when he saw me, like he expected me to strike him, scream at him, demand justice that had never come. Instead, I asked him if he was all right. He cried in the rain. I watched his shoulders shake like a child burdened by a lifetime of regret. Sometimes the greatest punishment is the weight of your own actions. I walked away without a word. For me, the chapter had ended. My wife still has scars, small ones only she and I can see. But she is strong, stronger than any man who tried to break her. She holds our daughter like a gift made of gold and morning sun. And I look at her every day knowing I nearly lost everything that mattered. Pain taught us, betrayal shaped us, but forgiveness saved us. This story is not about the violence that happened inside those walls. It is about the choice that came after. The moment where anger could have become a legacy, but instead became a lesson. Justice does not always mean revenge. Sometimes justice is walking away whole while others crumble under the weight of what they've done. I share this with you hoping you take something from it. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe pain has burned a mark inside you. Maybe someone broke your trust, shattered your world, or hurt someone you love. And maybe everyone around you expects vengeance, expects you to return fire with fire. But you don't have to. You can choose a different ending to your story. You can choose peace, not for them, but for yourself. Pain can shape you, but it does not have to define you. And if you're still with me now, if these words reached something inside you, please subscribe before you leave. Your support means more than you know. It helps stories like this keep breathing. It connects us, even across distance, even through screens and time. Maybe someone out there needs to hear what you heard today. Take care of your heart. Protect those you love. And remember, sometimes the strongest person in the story is not the one who retaliates but the one who forgives.